the 76ers and Trae Young, an 89% free throw shooter during the regular season, 92% during the playoffs against the Knicks in those 5 games at the line.
Senyor gets to the line over 8 times a game. And in the playoffs, no problem. He gets there 8 times a game. And I'm glad you brought out the shooting percentage, because you foul him, it's automatic. And he goes up there freely.
He has been managing games much better this season, especially under the tutelage of Nate McMillan.
This is the fight down there for position.
Embiid lost the handle. Bogdanović comes up with the loose ball.
I love the trap. The trap came from the baseline.
Herder from the corner for 3. Got it. Timeout, Philadelphia. In transition, the Hawks, Lethal and Quavo really happy about things as well.
Now, the old story, just watch it, the open floor as they come down. Good ball movement. They've been wide open in the corners in the transition game.
down hard, holding his right side.
Well, first of all, Herder was in a mismatch in foot speed there, but he tried to run him down. He tried to block the shot, or, see that? He got right on top of that ball. Unfortunately, he made a bad spill. Now, we know this kid, Maxey, he's like shot out of a gun once he gets over half court. He's going strong to the rim.
Good series.
And that's what you just love about him, because he's a good foul shooter. You know, he's got an excellent game off the dribble. But I got to get now, Herder, this guy right here is 6'7". You know, he's not no 6'1", 6'2", running you down.
Big guy, been shooting the ball really well in the playoffs. Maxey, meanwhile, at the free throw line for Philadelphia. You love to see it, QB, when a young player like Maxey, a rookie out of Kentucky, just 20 years old, makes the kind of improvement that he's made from game 1 to game 72 and into the playoffs. Because Doc Rivers was saying earlier this week how, and he was telling us in our meeting, that he's a much improved defensive player, where he's earned a lot of Rivers' trust, because the numbers showed that earlier in the season he was arguably one of their worst defensive players, to now he's getting premium minutes in the playoffs.
Well, we all know, you know, there's summer league, then there are 8 exhibitions. You better make the adjustment. Then there's a season, and now the playoffs. There are 4 different jumps when you're a young guy. You've got to improve defensively when you're on a quality playoff team, or you're not getting the minutes.
Capello still in the ball game with those 4 fouls. Young pounded by Thibault. Steps back, a deep 3. Way strong, great defense by Thibault.
Now, Thibault really gave a tough time. Now, that's a tough call, but the major thing is you're trying to steal the ball in the backcourt, right? And you're fouling the guy with 2 minutes on the clock. The guy shoots over 85% on the line. You're just giving him 2 free passes. Now, just watch this. He's all over. He's 6'5" now. Now, that was a rush shot. That's the first time today that I thought that Trey forced the shot from that deep.
And be back at the free throw line, and Nate McMillan was looking at Solomon Hill as if to ask why. Why did you foul him? Let's take a look, folks, at the upcoming playoff schedule. Monday on TNT, 7:30. It'll be the Bucks against the Nets. And then at 10 o'clock, Denver against Phoenix. Tuesday, it'll be Atlanta, Philadelphia at 7:30 on TNT. For more on these games, go to NBA.com or visit the NBA app. And boy, the Phoenix Suns came back after that game 1 loss to win the next 4 out of 5 and end the Lakers season. Devin Booker has really played great for them in the postseason. Young draws the foul against Thibault. Will go to the free throw line for 2.
Now, see, that was just a heady player making a great offensive move. He moved into him as he came on the dribble. Now, the fans are all upset. Okay? Looks like he's right now. They did. All right, the referee had a position, had a good look at that. All right, everybody would like to have it over again. Now, if you're Trae Young, you're going to say, I'm moving, he bumped me. Okay? Doc Rivers is very upset. Okay, they're going to challenge. The big thing right now is, what about the angle? You see, okay, now, from our position on the other side of the floor, it was a different. Trae Young pushed off.
Searching for meaning. still don't think it was enough to overturn. I think the officials made the correct call by not overturning it. It's really a difficult call because Young really, he's a tricky guy out there, so you have to be careful as a defender.
See, the people saw that right there. See, that's what they wanted. Okay? Then it comes down to the angle. All right. To me, I thought that the push-off, right, but I thought that Thibault got him earlier than that on the bounce before Trae Young moving with the shoulder into him. Very difficult call, depending upon the angle that the referee who made the call, what kind of a look that he had.
Young knocks down the first. Trae Young, meanwhile, the second player with 30 or more points in the first 4 playoff games. Wow. I mean, on the road as well.
Just think of his 3 games in Madison Square Garden to a team that they were 0-3 against there in the year. 30, 32, and 36.
Against the top defense.
That's right. That's Madison Square Garden. Very impressive.
There's Embiid at the elbow, hands it off to Harris. Maxey tried the straight line drive, and Capella got a piece of that. 76ers looking for a goaltend. Howard coming off at Doc Rivers' bench, ready to check in. Lou Williams with the ball over to Young. Guarded by Thibault again. Little show and recover this time. Underneath Capella, blocked by Embiid. And the Sixers get a stop.
Great defensive play by Embiid.
Harris got peeled clean by Solomon Hill.
Watch out, 4-on-3 here.
Nice. Capella inside. Smoked the layup. Great pass.
Great pass, looking for the trailer.
Wide open. Front pass now, a little side pick and roll. Harris working against the shorter Lou Williams. Steps through, left it on the front rim. Doesn't get the call.
Well, the fans are upset. They thought there was a punt.
Lou Williams staring down the rookie.
Remember now, we got mostly second unit guys out there.
Lou Williams got Maxey up in the air, but missed on the 3. Lou Williams began his career, interestingly enough, right here in Philadelphia with the 76ers for 8 seasons. Thoughts fondly of his days here. Allen Iverson being his vet. He was Iverson's rookie. Harris got fouled by Hill.
See, right now, Hill is trying to play Harris, who is the second leading scorer on this team during the season and the first. I'm surprised because Harris in this quarter has had very few opportunities. Very few times where he touched the ball. You can see it there right there.
And he's done good things with it when he's touched it. He'll be 7 of 11 from the field.
Now remember, he had 15 and a half. You say, well, is that good defense? Or is that poor ball movement to take advantage of a guy in his best area to get enough catches? Well, you only know until you break it down, as a coach said.
Rivers talked about the fantastic season that Tobias Harris has had this year. Arguably could have, should have been an Eastern Conference All-Star. In his first meeting after taking the job with the 76ers, Doc met with Tobias Harris and said, listen, I know you've moved around a little bit on this roster here, but you are our starting power forward. You are our 4. And defining his role has been a big part of why Harris has shot a career-high 61% from the field. Young from deep, missing at the end of the third quarter. 12 minutes to go. Trae Young leading the way with 31 when we come back.
Absalom better just play basketball and focus on execution.
I heard you tell your guys earlier, guys are trying to do too much.
Yeah.
Did they get that message?
I think they did, but the ball has to move more. Offense is not our problem, other than the turnovers in the first half.
Every 4 or 5 minutes you try to get a goal where you can reduce the score to build confidence.
Dwight Howard inside battling with the offensive putback, no good.
Look, Howard for them during the season in 16, 17 minutes, 8 points, 8 rebounds. In the playoff, 16 minutes, he gets the 7, 8 points and the rebounds.
We all remember how key he was and pivotal he was for the Lakers last year in their championship season as Gallinari knocks down a 3. That's a guy that Nick McMillan is expecting at some point to get going offensively in the playoffs. Maxey off the dribble handoff. Back to Simmons, pitches it back. Nice little two-man game.
He played it well. He knew that he had a bigger, slower player on him, and he moved him into position where he could go to his right and then get that short jump shot in the paint.
Williams out to a hot Bogdanovich.
Nice fake.
Steps in and left it on the rim. Maxey diving for the loose ball. It'll stay Atlanta basketball, but indefatigable effort there by Maxey. He's done a nice job since checking into the ball game for the 76ers here this afternoon. Saw his collegiate head coach here, John Calipari, courtside, showing some support. Bogdanovich catch and shoot 3 on the way.
That's right, you got to get out.
Maxey, he's got 3-point range. That one a little bit strong. Williams with the board.
Main thing right now, if Atlanta's got a hold on here, come up here now. Good open shots.
Lou Williams missed everything. Rarely do we see that happen.
Win the game right now. Atlanta Hawks have made 18 threes. Their starting group is 13 for 27. Just think about that. Just starting. Wow. That's the major difference here in this game. You'll think about it. And then at the other end, unfortunately, Philly is 6 for 20 in the dribble.
Maxey underneath draws the foul. Back to the free throw line. This rookie has been intent on getting to the basket and making things happen. 2 more free throws coming up. For him, he already knocked down 2. He's got 6 points.
Well, see, what he brings to is energy. He comes in here now, if you notice, the pace is quicker with the second group out there on the floor. And then also, his game is, I'm going to take you and challenge you getting into the paint and hope something good will happen. That I can get to the foul line, get somebody in foul trouble, etc. and so forth, or potentially get the layup.
Each team shooting well north of 15 free throws. What about the 15 advantage for the Hawks? Luke Williams brings it up against George Hill. Game 1 here, the Eastern Conference semifinals. Coming up next, Game 7 between the Clippers and the Dallas Mavericks. Herter left it short. Maxey with another rebound up to Simmons. Quickly, Thibault made one earlier. Hey, that's another one from Matisse Thibault.
Well, we know that's really not a big part of his game, okay? He's only a 30% shooter. But I'm happy that he's shooting because he spends a lot of energy for you defensively.
They've got it down to 14 now for Atlanta. Bogdanovich got pushed from behind, no call.
Well, they want to travel. People want to travel.
Williams splits the double out to Bogdanovich. Side pocket 3, rims out. Collins there, counted on the putback.
One of the very few second shot scorers in this game at either end. I mean, now, come on. The fact that Collins stayed in there in that situation was outstanding. Well, now just watch. He comes back inside. Now you look at Collins. He's had a very quiet game. He's got 15 points. He's 6 for 8 in from the field, but he's made 3 out of 4 threes. Very quietly. 6'10" at that power forward position.
Guy that's bet on himself in upcoming free agency. His dad was a member of the Naval Academy and Navy member. Mom in the Air Force. From a military family, West Palm Beach, Florida. George Hill fouled that time. John Collins, remember, missed all those games last year.
Well, in college, when you think about it, he's a very high draft choice. Right. He came in for a couple of years, scored a ton of points, a lot of rebounds, and then all of a sudden, here comes this kid from Oklahoma, and they start coming with these 6'7" guys that all can shoot threes and defend. And now what happens once the team gets better, then you get less shot attempts. And then you now have to scrounge on the offensive board, hopefully get something in transition. You got to change your game a little bit.
I like the way that Nate McMillan has worked with the pieces he's given now that everybody's healthy. Hill got it stuffed. That's usually a jump ball, right?
Well, right now, Trey Young is very upset with Jimmy Capers. He was challenging it. I like what Capers has done. He's been around a long time.
Well, don't see that.
Once the ball gets sucked in it,
jump ball. There'll be Collins and Simmons.
Oh, he got up quick.
Simmons over to Thibault. He's made 2. Hill back to Simmons. Great ball movement. Nice. Shake Milton walked with. Shake Milton having a tough time since the latter part of the regular season and into the playoffs, trying to find his rhythm. And that's part of the reason why Doc Rivers has gone and leaned a little bit more with Tyrese Maxey. 105-88. 17-point lead, 8.5 minutes to go in the first game of this series. Herder. Gallinari drives quickly and slams it home. Gallo with the punch, says it with his chest.
Hey, that's a smart player who's an offensive threat. On that ball movement, he's not going to take the ball went all the way to the opposite side. I'm going strong because you can't rotate in time.
Scan, folks, for your shot to win tickets to the NBA playoffs as well as other amazing prizes. Michelob Ultra High. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. offensive foul against Curry.
Well, see, Simmons is upset. Naturally, anytime that you're physical in a situation, you want the ball. And see, how about that diagonal pass and then the pass in the corner? Think about how many they've made from that right corner during this game.
The Atlanta Hawks continue to sizzle from deep. 19 of 44, 43% for the afternoon. Sean Young back to Herder. He's got Embiid on him. Come on, you got it. All right. You have to see that. Young got all the way to the basket and slick with it with the left hand.
Young says, Yubi, will you please get back? I know we have a major mismatch there, but I'm going left. Okay?
That was his version of the mismatch.
There you go.
That's right. Facing up on Capella. That's his sweet spot. And got the soft touch.
For a guy who was not supposed to play in this game, he has 30 points, he has 8 rebounds, and he's 11 for 12 from the foul line. Not bad for a guy who's
Trae Young slams on the brakes. Probing underneath. Nobody stayed with him. Thank you very much, Trae Young. And it's getting kind of chilly. Skip to my Lou, says Trae Young.
Now this is not an easy shot. He's going to come down. Now watch what happens out. See, when you come into this midpoint area, that's a tough shot. He makes it look easy.
Think about what you could think about when you're not.
It's a big substitution now, Thibault for Curry. Defensive size and pressure, and now comes down to which way do you want to match up. They're bringing in Thibault through the hole. Now, what followed here is here. Now watch, how about that?
Yeah, Herter was being trapped. There he is right there.
Exactly.
Jumped up in the air and got the ball down court across the midcourt line to Collins, who was stopped and fouled by Joel Embiid with 23.2 to go. Here's the call.
The clear pass foul.
Oh, wow. So that changed the equation even more.
Remember we said now, Atlanta has no timeouts. Philly has one. There's this incredible pass. And then just a smart move. Turn, and you're going to go strong to the basket.
So you get the extra shot with the clear path foul. Collins at the line. Going to make it extremely tough now for Philadelphia. Knocked down the first, and he'll get a couple now. It's already a two-possession game.
Now when they step back away from this game, right now on the foul line, Atlanta is 17 for 18 on the foul line right now. When Philly looks at this, they've missed 10 foul shots.
Look at Kevin Herter here.
Just watch this pass now. This is incredible. Right? All the way down the floor. And you have to love it because it was executed. Now, if you're Philadelphia, it was a killer.
They throw it into the back. Trae Young. Surest ball handler. Throws it up, and that is the exclamation point. John Collins with that smoke to say goodnight.
Beautiful pass by Trae Young. And a great move by Collins to get to precede the pass. Now just watch as they come in there. See, Embiid was right there now. Come on, he was right there and potentially could have, intercepted that or tapped it away.
That was a tremendous play here by John Collins, who down the stretch made some pivotal buckets. Put this out of reach potentially for the Hawks.
front of the rim to get the rebound. I don't know. We're only doing it, we're quite far away.
Right.
Only he knows whether he did that intentionally, and give him credit by stepping in and beating his man to the ball to now create another situation.
Neither team with a timeout or fouls to give. Embiid with 38 points and 9 boards already. Knocks down the free throw. Still a two-possession game. Atlanta has to get it in bounds here. You can run the baseline after a made basket of Bogdanovich. Double team. Oh, I tried to lay good. Simmons with the layup, and it's a two-point game.
Now, can you get the ball bounds? Come on, this is a key. The last 3 minutes, it's brutal.
Bogdanovich fouled by Danny Green. He's got to make two to make it a two-possession game with 8.9 to go. They turned over Atlanta again.
Come on. This has been a great move by the Philadelphia coaching staff. Time and time again, they've been able to out-muscle them. And, in the backcourt, 10 feet from the baseline. The double team has been great. The deflections, stealing the ball, forcing bad moves. And then, this is key right here.
We got to make this second one. He makes it a 4-point game, a two-possession contest. If Bogdanovich, 71% foul shooter, knocks down this next one. This is where you hear
The old story. NBA games are never over. And we are seeing something which we never expected in the last 3 minutes of this game.
this is the big one. He makes both. Bogdanovich increases the margin to 4.
Remember, we always say, please do not foul a jump shooter behind the three-point line.
Tell him with the board, and that should do it there. And the Atlanta Hawks are going to ride into Philadelphia and give it the thumbs up and take game 1. They have been very comfortable on the road during these playoffs so far. One of the most impressive teams in the postseason so far, Hubie, when you look at winning their first series in 5 and winning this first one here in Philadelphia.
This is going to be a great series. Great series.
The final score, 128-124 for Atlanta. They lead it 1-0. Coming up next, Game 7 between the Mavericks and the Clippers. Trae Young did his thing to the tune of 35 tonight. And went skipping out of here with a W. For Lisa Salters and Hubie Brown Jones. Folks, thanks for watching the NBA playoffs on ABC, home of the NBA Finals. Mavericks Clippers next.
Oh, looky here. Someone in a box. looky here. Someone in a box.
Hello? So effective even early in games.
Both teams shooting well. Clippers have hit 7 of their first 10 from the field. Mavericks 62%.
To Clippers Mavs. So like most of Dallas's team, Tim Hardaway Jr. has never played in a Game 7 before today. But he was at one of the biggest Game 7s of his dad, Tim Senior's NBA career in a series between the Heat and Knicks. This is today's golden moment, brought to you by McDonald's. And it was back in 1997. Tim told me that he usually drove to big games alone, but 5-year-old Tim Jr. begged to come in the car with him that day. And it was on that drive to Game 7 that Tim Sr. explained to his son for the very first time what a crossover was and how to do his famous UTEP two-step. He told Tim Jr. that when he did the cross in that day's game, he would point to him in the stands. And you can, in fact, see him do the point to Tim Jr. if you look at the old game film.
Top of the pick and roll, Luka gets rid of the basketball and Boban makes the play. So effective even early in game.
Hey, hold on. Well, we going to forget 98, 99, and 2000 when the UTEP two-step went awry? No?
That wasn't the hit that Rachel was talking about.
No, I mean, are we just going to like...
I'm glad to see you let it go. Batum, corner three. That's good. Nick Batum from downtown. They've now hit 8 of their first 11. Meanwhile, Dallas 6 of their first 9, including Doncic 7 early points.
Just to revisit, though, Mike, if Mark said it last game, I see some of these people in the Hall of Fame. If you had to coach against Tim Hardaway, there's no... He was one of the dynamic guards of his era.
Absolutely.
He had stretches where he was unguardable. His son's a different player, but his son has performed beautifully in this first-round series. Had some good games last year in the playoffs in the bubble as well. Terrence Mann. Hardaway closes out. Shot clock winding down. 2-pointer from Terrence Mann. That's good. Mann getting the early call with the 2 fouls to Morris. Jeff, you like Terrence Mann.
I do. I think you feel more comfortable as a... And I think Terrence Mann gives them versatility defensively as they play these smaller units.
Doncic against Jackson, goes inside. Kicks it out for Porzingis, the extra pass. Hardaway. That 3-pointer misses. Marjanovic nearly tipped it in, keeps it alive. Now Porzingis fakes a 3. Fires away. And a whistle and a foul before the shot attempt, but they're on the penalty. So it's going to be 2 free throws. Meanwhile, Tim Hardaway Jr. is hobbling out by half court.
And he's not putting any weight on that right foot.
I think he landed on that jump shot either on somebody or came down wrong.
So quickly they'll tend to him. The Clippers in the penalty, so Porzingis will shoot. And Hardaway Jr. is going to go back to the locker room. A little bit better on it. Reggie Jackson picked up his second foul. Here's the play. And as Hardaway limped. Doesn't appear anything there.
Yeah.
I'm still there. Just
wow.
Didn't turn it very far. So hopefully that's a good sign. As Porzingis knocks down both free throws. A high-scoring start. Dorian Finney-Smith guarding Leonard. Now Porzingis helping out.
And out of the zone, Boban guarding man.
Batum with a fake. Defense there from Porzingis. Shot clock winding down again. Terrence Mann drive and the finish. Terrence Mann with the flush.
And that's a big-time offensive move, but if I'm Boban, I'm going to force him to knock down the jumper hole.
Exactly. It just makes no sense how Boban closed to him.
Doncic, little step back 3. That's good. Luka Doncic off to an excellent start. He's 3 for 3 from the field. A couple of 3-pointers, 10 points already. Leonard can't connect. Porzingis the rebound.
When Doncic gets Leonard off of him, he's just attacking.
Doncic again. Puts it in. Luka Doncic red hot to start game 7. Batum gets away from the double. Rajon Rondo, his first shot off the bench, and Rondo connects on it.
With the right move defensively, force him to make that shot. He steps in with confidence and does exactly that.
Doncic feeling it. And that one an air ball. And a smile. Doncic.
And the
cheer from the crowd. He is a smiling assassin. He always seems like he's having a grand old time out there on the floor. As you guys like to say, he plays the game with such joy. George gets inside. Man, ball fake, fires, and hits. Terrence Mann off the bench, 3 for 3, 7 points.
Well, game 6, it was Reggie Jackson's energy and effort off of the set the tone offensively. Tonight, it's Mann doing an outstanding job.
Leonard deflected out of bounds. People will come, Ray.
It's the extras in these type of games and make big shots and make big plays. Mann has come off the bench, giving the team life.
It was still a good play by Porzingis as they steal the inbound.
Man ahead. Leonard with the finish. Nick Batum with some excellent defense to force the turnover. 8 straight points, and the Clippers go up by 5. Timeout, Dallas.
The NBA playoffs on ABC is presented by Mountain Dew, the official sponsor of the NBA.
Between the Nets and the Bucks in Game 1 between the Nuggets and the Suns. Tuesday TNT Game 2, Hawks and Philadelphia. One of the stories early here in Game 7 from LA. Terrence Mann, the 24-year-old, the second-year swingman out of Florida State. First 6 games, he had 17 total points, averaging 2.8 per game. Well, he's got 7 points, 3 for 3 from the field in 5 minutes coming in when Marcus Morris got into foul trouble. Porzingis off the dribble. Good-looking jumper from Porzingis, who's got 8 early points. Rondo had some excellent games, games 3 and 4 in the 2 wins in Dallas. Not have an impact in game 6, but he has played in so many big games, including game 7. Shot clock at 3. Step back 3 for Rondo. Raises the rim, and Doncic with a rebound. Doncic gets past Batum, stops, turns, falling away, and drops through. Luka Doncic now 5 of 6, 15 points already. Leonard the drive, and drew the foul. And Doncic raises his hand. It's his first.
Well, he's absolutely bludgeoning anybody not named Kawhi Leonard. So the initial switch got Leonard off of him. Leonard contests late, but I like Doncic's mentality about getting in the paint instead of just hanging out behind the three-point line.
He's made the right adjustments. Took a look at how he could have been more impactful after game 6, and has set the tone early in this ball game with his aggressiveness.
Good sign there for the Mavericks as Tim Hardaway Jr. checks back in. You know, we mentioned about Leonard and the poor game 7 last year against Denver. Of course, one of the great games in NBA playoff history was game 7 in 2019 in the Eastern Conference semifinals. He had 41, including that unbelievable buzzer beater to eliminate the 76ers on the way to a championship for the Toronto Raptors.
His numbers in this series are absolutely staggering.
32.8 points per game. Inside, Powell to finish. Doncic 15 points and 3 assists here in the first quarter. Rondo drops hard. Reverse does not get the bounce. Rondo now on Doncic. So he had 5 different defenders. Gets into the paint, stops, continues, layup won't go, but a foul.
I know people talk about he's Larry Bird part 2. No, he's a combination of Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. That's saying a heck of a lot. His ability to handle basketball and make the right play from a point guard position has no flaws. Offensively, he is an incredible basketball player.
He's just blowing by people. That time it was Rondo, but other than Leonard, when they get Leonard off of him, I love his mentality.
You say he's blowing by people. He's not what you would call a Maserati. He's like this unstoppable tank that moves at his own pace. You can't speed him up, but he's so strong.
He's at his own pace, and when you get on his hip or on his back, he keeps you there.
He's faster than he looks. Don't let his whiteness take away from his quickness. Come on. He's an athlete.
17 here in the first quarter. Dallas back up by 1.
Well, Dallas with this lineup on the floor for the Clippers, I am not letting Kawhi Leonard be the guy.
Kleber has come in for the Mavericks. Zubac has come out for the Clippers against Powell. Double team. Taken away by Kleber. Off 1 foot, backs up, it's good. Luka Doncic now 6-7 from the field. 19 first quarter points, the Mavericks up by 3. Terrence Mann spinning, does his own little Doncic move of the 1 foot. By the way, speaking of that 1 foot fall away, Dirk Nowitzki in attendance here at Staples Center. Doncic looking to fall down, and he does. And again, they're in the penalty, have been for quite some time as Terrence Mann picks up his first.
And doing a good job defensively off to the races. This is not quickness. This is just the ability to use the upper body strength and the handle to win a battle on my turn.
What are you talking about? That's great burst and the ability to stop after going fast, pivot away, and hit a fadeaway.
So you thought I was fast?
No.
Meanwhile, Doncic in this series, he's only shooting 50% from the free throw line. The first 4 games, he was 13 for 32. But he's shot the ball much better the last several games, including a good start here tonight. 4 of 5.
Part of the problem, Coach, to me, if you're looking at the Clippers offensively right now. If I'm Mavs, I'm fine with man shooting, Rondo shooting, Zubac shooting. The ball is out of the hands of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George.
Absolutely. And I think the Mavericks are doing very smart how they're closing out. You know, they're closing short to Rondo, making man shoot.
Doncic misses both, and a loose ball foul is going to go against Kleber. Carlisle confused with the call. That's the first in the last 2 minutes. Mark Cuban clearly not happy. Leonard calling for the whistle on that. Luke Kennard's come in.
It's a scrum on free throws.
Kleber way out on Leonard. George sets the screen. Now Finney-Smith picks him up. Shot clock at 7. Leonard drops down and a flush with authority. Shot clock turned off. No fouls to give. Doncic floats it high off the glass. Foul on the follow with 0.2 of a second remaining. And that will end a high-scoring first quarter here in Game 7.
Dallas coach Rick Carlisle. And Rick, high-scoring first quarter. Luka with 19 points. What do you think about the way your team came out of the game?
I like it. Aggressive. We need to play fast and furious. And I shouldn't say furious. We need to play fast and fearless in this game. And I like what we're doing. Defensively, it's challenging. They put you in a lot of tough situations. But we kept our poise. We got to keep going.
We saw Kristaps Porzingis involved a little more early than we had seen earlier in this series.
Yeah.
Was that by design?
Yeah. Listen, more time to get him quality looks better. He's doing a great job of playing with the system. Luka's doing a great job of facilitating. You just got to keep it going.
Thanks so much, Rick. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Back to you, Mike.
Thank you, Rachel. Rondo misses the three. White Powell the rebound. Jalen Brunson in his first minute with Richardson, Kleba, Powell, and Tim Hardaway Jr. Brunson's first shot comes up short, follows it, and can't connect. Ball knocked out of bounds. Clipper ball. Paul George will take it out. George to start the second quarter with his first field goal, his first points.
That's why with this lineup on the floor for the Clippers, you got to highlight Paul George and make sure defensively via the Mavs, you don't allow him to get going.
And
they're isolating on the weak side.
Right, they're going right back to where they scored the first bucket of this quarter. Just a little elbow isolation.
George kicks it out. Kennard wide open. Got the three. Kennard has played sparingly. Got a little bit of time. In game 6, knocks that one down. It's only his second bucket of this series.
But he looked confident in game 6. He didn't get the three to go, but he looked confident.
Gives the Clippers a 2-point lead.
There's another play made by Paul George off that isolation. Once they help find the shooters, Kennard steps with confidence, as you talked about, Coach, and knocks down the long ball.
He only played 10 minutes in game 6. Only played 4 minutes scoreless in game 4. Regular season, he was 8th in the NBA in three-point percentage. 45%. Started 17 games. Is Leonard getting a rest right now?
As a coach, did you shorten your rotation in game 7 situations like this?
I don't think I would have necessarily shortened how many guys, but how long? You're certainly not going to ride through long periods. Like right now, they've already been down 5-0 as Porzingis bails them out. I'm not going many minutes without Doncic, that's for sure.
Reggie Jackson tied up. Gets it out to Kennard. Morris back in the game. Knocks down the three. Morris sat very quickly. First couple of minutes he picked up 2 quick fouls, but he puts the Clippers up by 3. Josh Richardson lost the handle. 5th turnover for the Mavs. George. Offensive foul as Kleba took the charge, and George picks it first. Only the 2nd turnover for the Clippers. How about the rebounding stats, guys? 14-2. Now, granted, Clippers aren't missing a lot of shots, shooting 68%, but 14-2.
Shocking.
Brunson. Richardson has time, but can't hit. And Kennard tracks it down. The Clipper bench has 13 points already. They had 4 total points in game 6 in Dallas on Friday night.
And very interesting, I think, really, it goes to the bench struggle. Trey Burke's coming in.
Paul George turns it over. Back-to-back turnovers. And there's that foul. That basket won't count. As Kennard stopping the fast break by picking his first, second team foul on LA. Back in for Rondo. Rochison will sit down. And Trey Burke is coming into the game. Burke's only played 1 game, only 9 minutes. Burke's a good offensive player. He's always been a professional scorer, as Marjanovic also comes in.
He's putting in, Rick Carlisle's putting in his offensive unit, and here comes Doncic too.
It is fun watching how coaches deal with the matchups. How in a game like this, they go with their rotation.
Well, you look at it, Rick Carlisle short leash with Brunson, Josh Richardson. Same as in Game 5 here.
And I believe in these situations, you have to have a short leash as a coach.
Doncic whips the pass to Porzingis. Now drives on Morris, pulls back, stutter dribble. Hooked away by Morris, turnover. Here comes George. George kicks it out. Reggie Jackson, a corner three. Marjanovic. Oh, nice defensive play from Batum.
That pass is from far, too far away from him.
Is that your way of saying that's an awful pass?
Yeah.
And Marjanovic to reach in. He'll pick up his first, team's first.
I mean, that is thrown from far too far away. Boban's got to seal harder, and a great defensive play by Batum to circle the post and deflect it.
Dorian Finney-Smith comes in. Trevor, a quick minute of action, goes back to the bench.
And the Mavs, bigger lineup going zone again. Let's see how the Clippers attack it.
Marcus Morris with a couple of threes here on the second. He's got 9 points. You mentioned it, Jeff. He really struggled in Game 6. Shot 1 for 10. He makes a huge difference when he's scoring. Hardaway Jr. fires away. They wave it off. An offensive foul on Finney-Smith.
They've done a great job of bouncing back, not only offensively but defensively too, forcing turnovers and creating havoc.
Again, Dallas is one of the best teams in the league, regular season playoffs, and not turning over. They had a bunch early in Game 6. They've got 8 already here in Game 7. Leonard finding some room over Marjanovic. Can't connect. Doncic the rebound. Porzingis in rhythm. Can't hit. Paul George deflects it out. Mavericks ball. We got about 8,000 fans in attendance here at Staples Center. That's over 18,000 on Friday night at the American Airlines Center in Dallas. Doncic falling away, shot paint dropped in. 21 for Doncic, 7 of 9 from the field. In his first Game 7. Paul George inside, block but a foul. Marjanovic pleading with Josh Gibbon. That's the second.
This is a bird type move. Larry Legend would back you in and fade away from your body, eliminating your contest, and then smile on your face and let you know, good job. You can't guard me.
Luka Legend does that move pretty darn well. Meanwhile, they initially called Porzingis with the foul, but it is Marjanovic, and that's his second. So George will go to the free throw line. George played 46 minutes on Friday night, 20 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists. Game 2 of the Bucks and the Nets series continues tomorrow on TNT. The game from Brooklyn. James Harden, of course, boy, you just hated to see that, re-injuring that hamstring.
Got him, you got Embiid hurting with the knee. I mean, it's unfortunate at this time of the year that not everyone's healthy.
But the lessons looking at all these series, you're on a high winning Game 1, on a low losing Game 1. Very interesting how you bounce back.
Tim Hardaway can't connect, ball chip. Hardaway's been playing so well, just 1 of 5 to start. Leonard, nice feed to Batum. Clippers ball movement against this zone has been good. Clippers have 15 assists already. Porzingis with the steal and fires away the 3. Bounce won't go. Finney-Smith mistimed his jump.
I like how aggressive Porzingis has been, though. I think that's a good sign for the Mavs.
Batum 3-pointer misses. Marjanovic the rebound.
So you like when 2-on-1s turn into a pull-up 3 off the dribble, huh?
Tim Hardaway finding some room, gathers the ball, shot won't go. Coming up on the midway point here in the second, Doncic bumps Leonard. Leonard had that hot start. Morris. Both teams have cooled off a little bit, although the Clippers still shooting 60% from the field.
Yeah, but the Mavericks have only gotten 6 points in over 6 minutes.
And that's going to be Morris's third foul, as Marjanovic count the bucket and a chance for a three-point play. Teams will take a timeout, just under 6 to play, first half here in Game 7.
that if you're going to play big.
And so also it just makes Kawhi Leonard this one of the best two-way players we've ever seen, because he can be so good defensively in addition to be one of the leading scorers in the league. Paul George, meanwhile, all 11 of his points here in the second. The lead back up to 6. Tim Hardaway. Finney-Smith the drive. Porzingis. Doncic drives. Nice feed inside. Finney-Smith throws it down. In addition to those 26 points, that's now 5 assists for Doncic. Terrence Mann passed on the first one and knocks that one down. 10 points for Terrence Mann off the bench. He's had 17 prior. At 17.
I thought he jumped from point A to point B and got it down low.
Marjanovic will sit with the 3 fouls as Powell returns.
1 free throw remains for Nico the 2. Timeout, Mavericks.
Well, the Mavericks will call a timeout. So Boban will sit with the 3 fouls. 5-point lead right now for the Clippers. Nowitzki, he was the NBA Finals MVP back in 2011 for the Mavericks. And that's the last time the Mavericks won a playoff series. It's been a decade since that Game 6 in Miami when he got so emotional he ran off the court, went back to the locker room. What a spectacular player he was.
It just shows you how hard it is to win. Think about it. Either Luka Doncic or Kawhi Leonard is not winning a first-round playoff series this year.
It's credible when you put it that way.
It's hard to win, and Doncic was brilliant last year, has been brilliant this year.
Porzingis fakes, now drives. Porzingis on the pull-up. Jumper won't go, and Terrence Mann the rebound. Under 3 minutes remaining. Mann has been terrific off the bench. Layup, missed it. Got his own rebound, puts it back up and in. And the foul. 12 points for Terrence Mann. And the lead is 8 largest of the first half.
He has been absolutely outstanding on both sides of the floor. His competitive spirit has been contagious. Pursuit of the basketball. And you give him credit, but you also give Ty Lue credit. The guts of a burglar to decide to look down the bench and call on this young man, no pun intended, and he has not disappointed.
Terrence Mann, who was a second-round pick out of Florida State. His mom was a terrific player at Georgetown and head coach at Rhode Island. Young man who was born in Brooklyn, grew up in Lowell, Massachusetts. Boy, he has really gotten better. Last year, you saw signs last year as a rookie. This year, got a little more responsibility, had some really nice games, and he's playing one of the best games of his career in the biggest game of his career.
And this is a dangerous time for the Mavericks. Down 9.
Finney-Smith to Porzingis. Hardaway trying to get going. Can't find it. Finney-Smith, the offensive rebound. Back out Hardaway. Hardaway's going to try again. Won't go. Rebound Finney-Smith again. Doncic will pull back. Hardaway Jr. just 1 of 8 so far. Goes inside. Layup is good.
Good adjustment. Struggling to see the shot go through the hoop. Turns the corner.
And draws the offensive foul down the other end. Good defensive play from Tim Hardaway.
And Rick Carlisle downsizing with Trey Burke and just Porzingis at the center, which we haven't seen Porzingis at 5 very much in this series.
Foul on Paul George. Porzingis gets inside. Finney-Smith with a nice dish. So Dorian Finney-Smith, a couple of offensive rebounds and a pretty pass there, and it's back to a 5-point game.
Coach, you talked about it. Porzingis doing a very good job of cutting and moving towards the hoop.
Reggie Jackson falls down, and they call a foul on Trey Burke. Rick Carlisle again, very upset.
I don't think if Reggie Jackson wouldn't have fallen, that a foul would have been called. But if you're Trey Burke, you're working hard. But you also got to know the penalty situation. To me, that's a good call.
Yep, certainly contact as Jackson will go to the free throw line. Jackson just 2 points after having a 25-point game in Game 6. So Doncic with 29. By the way, the most points in a half in an NBA playoff game is 39. Sleepy Floyd at 39. Charles Barkley at 38, as did Durant. Coming up the Oculus halftime. That wild finish in Philadelphia as the Hawks hung on. Maria, Jalen, and Jay have all about that in the first half of this one. The most points ever scored in a playoff game total, 47. In a Game 7, that is. That's Sam Jones and Dominique Wilkins. That's the most ever in a Game 7. Most assists in a Game 7 is 20. John Stockton. And most rebounds in a Game 7 was 40. I don't think that one will be broken by Bill Russell. Minute and a half remaining here in the second. Doncic long distance. Finney-Smith, another offensive rebound. The putback, he banks it home.
How good has he been on the offensive boards?
Well, they're showing on his pick and roll, so he has a free run to the rim, and when Doncic shoots it, nobody's hitting him. and he's using his athleticism to create a lot of second shot opportunities.
Mavericks have 10 offensive rebounds as George sneaks in. George, a big second quarter. 10 offensive rebounds to 1 in favor of Dallas.
They got to make Paul George pass it on that deep penetration.
George, all 13 of his points here in the second. Tim Hardaway Jr., that's a two-pointer. And that has to feel good for him to knock that one down. Tough matchup for Trey Burke. Finney Smith comes to help. Reggie Jackson connects from way outside. A three-pointer for Jackson. Getting the start for the 4th straight game. Patrick Beverly started the first couple. And been an excellent move from Tyronn Lue. Beverly has been dealing with knee issues all season long. Reggie Jackson, he was all fired up after the victory in Game 6. Talking about Game 7, it's the best.
And no shot blocker on the floor for the Mavs. Good opportunity to attack the paint area. I mean, for the Clippers.
Doncic, Trey Burke lines it up. That won't go. Rebound, Terrence Mann. Shot clock is turned off. No fouls to give. How about the 14 minutes Terrence Mann has given Tyronn Lue? Jackson for 3. And that will end the first half. We saw some spectacular individual basketball. Kawhi Leonard had the great start, but didn't score in the second quarter. Luka Doncic, 20.
This is my daily light and show. Daily light and show.
80. V8 na binili ko, magkano lang yan eh,
crossing that many paths, and of course I'm heading.
Welcome back to the NBA on ABC. Now, in the locker rooms at halftime, both head coaches focused on defense, which is not surprising considering that was one of the most high-scoring first halves in NBA Game 7 history. Now, Ty Lue talked to his guys about not just Luka, but making Kristaps Porzingis' catches tougher. While Rick Carlisle told Dallas's players, "We have got to get better at contesting shots and getting out to their shooters." He reminded them, "We know their personnel. You know how to make it tougher on different guys in different ways. Now go out and do it, Mike."
Thank you, Rachel. Clippers trying to be the first team in this series to win a home game. First time ever in NBA history, the road teams won the first 6. Leonard to Jackson. A zone defense again for Dallas. Well defended by Finney-Smith. Batum. Three-pointer won't go. Porzingis the rebound. Porzingis 12 points, 5 boards. Doncic to Marjanovic. Double team. Boy, good ball and a half from Leonard. Shot clock at 5. Hardaway Jr. on the drive. Scoop layup block. But a goaltend.
Wow, that looked like a good block.
Yeah, that might be a challenge because Ty Lue has an extra timeout.
Oh, Batum certainly didn't think so. Does it hit the backboard first?
Nope.
No, sir. That's a good block from Batum. But credited 2 points and the game is tied. Paul George, nice feed inside to Batum. George, he's got 7 assists.
Great patience and a good job by Batum moving without the basketball.
Leonard back on Doncic, going high to Marjanovic. Porzingis, good look. He's got the range, but that one off the mark. And it's going to be Clipper ball. Porzingis 0 for 4 from three-point range.
You see Paul George making the play and Batum just getting in the line of sight.
He's such a good glue player. Passes, shoots, cuts, gets rid of the ball quick.
He's open there. Elbow jumper misses. Doncic his 4th rebound. Doncic drives on Leonard. Pulls back high. Arcing shot is good. Another 30-point game in the series for Doncic. He's 11 of 15 from the field. Reggie Jackson blocked by Marjanovic. Doncic another step back three-pointer. Marjanovic gets the rebound. Back to Hardaway Jr. Rebound deflected and Paul George comes out of the pack looking to push. Marcus Morris lines it up. Batum. Morris this time on the drive, goes inside. Bank shot is good.
We've seen both teams be hurt by giving up offensive rebounds. Good defense, but your last line of defense is securing the basketball.
Pass inside Marjanovic, again using his height. This one off the glass. 8 points for Marjanovic.
When he can turn to that left shoulder, he's got exquisite touch.
Game tied again. We played 4 minutes here in the third. Reggie Jackson. Again, the winner of this series will play the Utah Jazz. First 2 games in Salt Lake City. Jazz with the best record in the NBA. What a battle this series has been. Feed inside, stolen by George. And then Finney-Smith picking up his 2nd foul. They had players back defensively. I just don't get it.
I don't get it for a number of... Actually, for Dallas, I get it. I do. I get it. I don't want Finney-Smith necessarily as my primary defender taking it. What I don't get is why we want it in the NBA. Why we don't legislate it out.
Why Leonard, hand in his face, won't go. Rebound kept alive by Batum. And then Kawhi Leonard commits the personal. That's going to be 3 fouls on Leonard. First team foul against the Clippers.
See the clear contact pursuing the basketball knocks into Tim Hardaway Jr.
You know, they obviously didn't gain possession, but Nick Batum tipping it away. He just does so many little things like that. Finney-Smith connects. Dorian Finney-Smith, 13 points. That's his third three-pointer. Paul George drives, lefty layup, missed it. Marjanovic to Doncic. Porzingis up and in. And a 5-point lead for the Mavericks. This is their largest lead of the game.
After being down 8 at half.
Morris comes right back. And Clippers back within 2. 14 points for Marcus Morris. Big bounce back game for him. Luka Doncic from the elbow. That one way short. Tipped by Morris. George comes up short, gets his own rebound, back up, but he's fouled. And Paul George doing a little bit of everything here in the third quarter. And a chance to tie the game at the free throw line.
And I think they have to get back to getting the switches so that Doncic can go at other people other than Leonard.
If I'm the Clippers offensively, I got to put the ball in the hands of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Too many possessions is the other guys. Not that they can't, but that's not how I want to go down.
George connects. Upcoming playoff schedule tomorrow. Doubleheader on TNT. Bucks and Nets game 2. Brooklyn took game 1. And then game 1 between the Nuggets and the Suns from Phoenix. What a series that should be. Tuesday on TNT. Game 2. Philadelphia hosting Atlanta. The Hawks taking game 1. We're up big and had to just hang on a wild finish.
I'll tell you, that Atlanta team they're dangerous. Trae Young can make every pass. They've surrounded him with terrific offensive talent. Travis Schlenk, the general manager, ownership, take a bow. You've done a great job.
And the job that Nate McMillan has done.
Absolutely.
Paul George pokes it away, but it's still Dallas ball, 10 to shoot. And George, a great defender, all NBA defense 4 times, including first team defense a couple of times. Doncic, long three-pointer. That one way off, rebound Batum.
What you see earlier was turning the corner and getting to the paint. Now he's settling offensively.
Here's Leonard on the drive and the finish. Kawhi Leonard throws it down, and the Clippers back up by 2.
And that's where the ball has to be, in the hands of Kawhi Leonard or Paul George, making big-time plays.
8 of 11 from the field is Leonard. Doncic guarded by Terrence Mann. Doncic doubled, flips it up, shot won't go. The tip from Marjanovic misses. Leonard the rebound. Mann gets free, kicks it out. Good ball movement. Morris, a three-pointer, puts it in. Marcus Morris. And a timeout call by Dallas. 17 points from Morris. It's 86-81. LA Clippers now with a 5-point lead, Mark.
And Kawhi Leonard putting his head down and attacking the paint. The best thing is when he has the ball in his hands, making plays, gets rid of it to man. Ball movement, man movement. You step in a high-quality shot off it, and Steve Ballmer appreciating the fight that his team is displaying.
It's quite the dance move as the Clippers shooting 56% from the field. Let's check in with Rachel.
Well, Mike, Jack said he wants the ball in Kawhi or PG's hands as much as possible. Well, I spoke to Raptors coach Nick Nurse this morning and asked him what he remembered about Kawhi in that Game 7 that Toronto won in Philadelphia a couple years ago. Kawhi, of course, hitting the signature shot of his career. Nurse said he kept trying to call plays for other guys, and the other players kept replying, "Keep running angle." It's a play where Kawhi runs a screen and roll and shoots. Nick said that he asked the guys, "Do you guys just want Kawhi to take every shot?" They pretty much said yes, that Kawhi is just so calm and steady in these high-pressure situations. It benefits the entire rest of the group, Mike.
And pretty steady right there, Rachel, on defense. Beautiful block shot as it comes down the other end.
And Trey Burke, first man in off the bench.
Terrence Mann. Bank shot, not that time. Rebound tip taken by Morris. Batum once again kept it alive. Morris won't go. Rebound Batum. That time Terrence Mann kept it alive. 8 on the 24. George has the height advantage on Burke. Now the double. Leonard, three-pointer. And Finney Smith grabs his 9th rebound. Still huge rebounding edge for Dallas, 33-19. But they trail by 5. Doncic seeing that double team, whips the pass. A bad one stolen by Mann. Mann inside to Morris. Leonard backdoor goes up and in and draws the foul. As Dorian Finney-Smith just picked up his 4th, Kawhi Leonard will go to the free throw line for just the 3rd and 4th free throws of the game for him.
Doncic only 2 points in this quarter. I just think Mark mentioned it earlier. More assertive. That burst we saw in the first half, hard to deal with that size and strength.
Leonard connects. Clippers now 14 of 14 from the free throw line. They're 50% from 3 and 53% from the field. Hearing MVP chants. The 2 times finals MVP helps the Clippers now on a 12-0 run. This is a wild roller coaster ride this 3rd quarter. Clippers were up 8 at halftime. Mavericks then took a 5-point lead. Now it's the Clippers back up by 7. Doncic against Morris. Nice footwork. Bank shot is good. Morris defended it well, and still Doncic got a great clean look.
That is outstanding footwork.
And I like that they played a decoy pick and roll to finally get it back to him.
A rare miss tonight from Leonard, or this afternoon. 5-point Clipper lead, under 3 to play in the third. Doncic drives again, and a foul on the way to the basket. Paul George picks up his third.
Well, this is great skill and terrific mentality to be in attack mode. May a little bit of a travel on the when he picked up his right foot, but that's not called.
You can't nitpick that. That's a big time move.
It
right
is, but all right, you're right.
But if I'm Kawhi Leonard, I'm not switching to pick and roll. Off light. I'm here to be mine. If I get help, I get help. But right to you and I to determine who advances, who's going to be on vacation.
Doncic
struggles from the line. Now 5 of 9. Leonard gets inside, back up top, Morris, three-pointer, puts it in. Marcus Morris, a 20-point game, and it's an 8-point Clipper lead.
But it's off of the ball being in the hands of Kawhi Leonard. Makes the play, and Morris does what he does best. Score.
George, meanwhile, just picked up his 4th. That's the 3rd team foul on the Clippers.
Dribble penetration, defense collapse, puts Morris in position to be effective as a shooter. How about Twin over there celebrating, acknowledging that's blood.
Keith of the Lakers, his season obviously done, as Kennard's going to come in. But how about George and Leonard? Obviously they're doing some scoring, but Paul George has 9 assists. Kawhi Leonard has 5 assists. 24 total assists for the Clippers, and it's still 2.5 to play here in the third.
That's what greatness does. It attracts a second defender.
Kennard trying to help on Doncic. Finney-Smith, 5 to shoot. Burke on the drive. Burke gets inside. Left-handed layup won't go. Leonard, another rebound. Fakes. Gets it back from Kennard. Terrence Mann, corner 3. Leonard, the rebound, put back up and in, and the foul. First double-figure lead of the afternoon, a 10-point advantage and a chance for a 3-point play.
Well, they've turned the tables on him in this quarter on the offensive board. They've got multiple second shot attempts here. The bad miss by Mann. But Kawhi Leonard, no block out by Doncic, just runs right past him and finishes it.
Well, after game 6, and those 45 points from Kawhi Leonard, Luka Doncic said he destroyed us. He doesn't have that kind of points, but he's starting to destroy them at both ends of the floor here as the lead, the largest of the game.
They have 5 second shots there in the third quarter alone.
A 16-point turnaround after the Mavericks took that 5-point lead here in this third quarter. Trey Burke on the drive, the runner misses. Leonard another rebound, leading the break. Clippers pushing. Morris thought about it. Has a rather large man in front of him, though.
Just dribble around him.
Batum, Kennard, three-pointer. Marjanovic grabs his 9th board.
And Kawhi Leonard upset, looks at Morris and says, you got to attack. Take advantage of that matchup.
Kleber. Mavericks have gone cold the last few minutes. Leonard in the front court. Leonard fakes, back up to man. Morris, Kennard, corner 3, bang! 13-point lead on a 21-2 run. Timeout, Dallas.
the NBA playoffs presented by Mountain Dew. I'm here with Coach Ty Lue. And Ty, wow, a 24-4 run by your team to close that quarter. What changed?
Defense. I think we did a great job of mixing up our coverage on Luka. We blitzed him a little bit, we showed a little bit, we switched. And he's just so good. You got to just give him different coverages every night.
Game 7, final quarter, last 12 minutes. What do you tell the guys to get them in the right mindset?
Keep playing with pace, keep pushing it. But we got to get stops and take good shots.
Thank you so much,
yes,
Ty. Appreciate it. Back to you, Mike.
Thank you, Rachel. And right on cue, talking about defense, he is a magnificent defensive player. He gets the steal to start the fourth.
Unbelievable. He has absolutely taken over this basketball game.
And he's got the ability to do it at both ends of the floor. Morris, jumper, foul line, shot too strong. Rebound, Paul George. Kennard drives. Kennard finishes with the offhand, banks it home. Largest lead of the game. Porzingis tries a three. Way short. Brunson, who checked back in. The rebound, the drive, and banks it home. By the way, Luke Kennard now 11 points in 11 minutes. He had 2 points in 14 minutes in the prior 6 games. Leonard makes it look easy. .24 for Kawhi Leonard. Doncic fires up a three. Rebound deflected, taken by Morris.
It's great individual defense by Leonard. Can Doncic make that? Absolutely. But keeping him out of the paint has to be priority number one.
Leonard holding. Back up to Mann. 5 on the 24. Terrence Mann's got Porzingis. Step back, jumper over him. Won't go. Rebound tipped and taken by Hardaway. Back out Kleba. Kleba tries a three. That misses. They're now 8 for 31 from downtown. Just over 2 minutes gone by. Paul George three-pointer. Meanwhile, from three-point range, 16 of 32. Jalen Brunson. Brunson finds Hardaway Jr. Now the Mavericks have gone ice cold, 17-point lead. With just under 9.5 remaining. Leonard again drives inside. Bank shot won't go, but a foul. And he'll head back to the line.
You know, lately he's looked like the Kawhi Leonard that we saw win a championship in Toronto. Forget about what we're running. Put the ball in his hands. He's dominating offensively, and he's being impactful on the defensive end.
Well, Doncic has 6 so far in this half. And I think they've tried to keep Leonard on him more in this half than in the first half.
Leonard coming into this series averaging 32.8 per game, just under 33 a game, shooting 60% from the field. Averaging 40 minutes per game. And always the toughest assignment on the defensive end as Batum checks back in.
You see Rick Carlisle, which is the worst situation for a head coach, trying to search for answers in a game 7. That's a tough place to be. You want to have the answers and let the talent or effort win the ball game for you.
And that's the hard part when you shoot the three as poorly as they shot it tonight, 8 for 32. You saw Milwaukee yesterday. What was the difference in the game? They shot the ball from 3 very poorly.
Well, they're 3 for their last 16 from the field overall. Leonard smothering Doncic, and he's called for a foul. Tyloo looking over his coaching staff whether or not to challenge it. That's going to be 4 fouls on Leonard if it holds.
And I believe it's going to hold.
You see Doncic grimace.
You see Kawhi do nothing, just keeps playing. Don't know if it's a good call for him, a bad call.
Brunson to Porzingis. Porzingis had a good start. Was fouled before the shot attempt. Basket won't count. Second team foul against the Clippers. Terrence Mann picking up his second.
But this is the Kawhi Leonard that we were looking for. Again, it's Luka Doncic. Take it personal.
To do with the out
business the way they should have.
It's still true. Amazing. And his story, the fact that no home team. They were 0 for 6 in the first 6 games, and right now the home team up 17. Still plenty of time remaining. Well, right now the Clippers in complete control. Terrence Mann, the drive, back up top to George. Fakes, drives, pulls up. He thought there was contact as Brunson comes the other way. now down.
Get some transition. Score.
Finney-Smith tries a three. That's good. Dorian Finney-Smith, 16 points. That's his fourth three-pointer.
But that was good play by Doncic. Took the trap, made the easy one. Brunson, who touched it over, would catch it high.
Hardaway Jr. back in. Brunson sits down. Out to Doncic, guarded by Morris. Good help there from Terrence Mann. Finney-Smith drives, layup, shot, it's good, and the foul. Terrence Mann tried to draw the charge, but Finney-Smith with a chance for a three-point play.
Mavs doing a good job of scoring. The issue is not on the offensive end for them right now. They've got to find a way to get stops against this Clipper team.
Dorian Finney-Smith, he had 18 points in game 1. He's got 18 points here in game 7. Terrific story for the Mavericks as Jackson comes back in. Finney-Smith wasn't drafted 4 years out of Florida, but in his 5 years in the league, he started over 200 games. He's just a good player. He doesn't average double figures, but he's a strong defender and a much improved shooter.
Free throw rebounds.
They've missed now 6 free throws. Finney-Smith not that time. Leonard comes flying in. Leonard now with 10 boards to go with 28 points, 6 assists, and 3 steals. Under 6.5 remaining. George, all the room he's got, can't connect. Marjanovic calling for it against Leonard. Kicks it back out. Porzingis to Doncic. Struggled with it. Now on the drive. Leans in, draws the contact. Shot won't go. But he'll shoot 2 with exactly 6 minutes remaining in a 15-point game.
14.
Batum hear his team
pitch and say, who's that guy?
We saw it with the Sixers today, though. Long time to go.
Dorian Finney-Smith for three. Tyronn Lue urging his team to continue to push the ball up the floor. George makes his drive, gets in the paint, kicks it out. Reggie Jackson for three. Doncic surrounded by Clippers. Nearly poked away by George. Marcus Morris has done a good job on Doncic, but a nice spin move shot. Won't go. Oh, Batum the rebound.
They've missed some. Very
Tonight, it's the season premiere of Celebrity Family Feud. Steve Harvey hosts the fastest, funniest game in prime time. The new season kicks off with Rob Lowe taking on Terrence Howard. Don't miss Celebrity Family Feud tonight right here on ABC. A Western Conference feud, Luka Doncic once again a brilliant first half.
He's an incredible basketball
rips it down.
You look at the Clippers.
Feed inside. Porzingis, wild shot, drew the contact. And Porzingis will shoot 2 as Kawhi Leonard picks up his 5th.
That's a great, another by. And 2 free throws.
Allowed them to be chased down because guys made free throws.
Okay, so the 3-point shot then.
Porzingis trying the second. Clippers, don't remember in this series, they lost the first 2 games at home. And a team that's done that and still won a 7-game series, it's only happened 4 times.
Mike, this guy's got one more time to turn his head towards me and roll his eyes.
12-point game as we approach 3 minutes remaining. Jackson alone. Ball tipped back out to Jackson and a new 14 on the shot clock.
And again, you've got, even though they're small, you got to block out.
Porzingis to steal. Mavericks keep firing. Gets inside, stops, layup, banks it home, goes right at Kawhi Leonard, and it's a 10-point.
Out of the hands of Kawhi Leonard, the damp
39. Morris, 3-pointer. Porzingis able to corral the rebound. Is there still some Luka magic left in these Magics? In these Mavericks, that is. Doncic pulls back, step back 3. It's good! Luka Doncic from way downtown. It's a 7-point game. A 13-3 run. George back up top to Morris. Leonard wants the ball. Doncic on him. 7 to shoot. Back up top to Jackson. Reggie Jackson for 3. Bang! Reggie Jackson, a clutch 3-pointer, and it's back up to 10.
That's a big shot. That is an absolute huge shot.
He's had 2 of them down the stretch.
Doncic trying to answer. Leonard draped on him. Doncic steps back, now drives, gets in the paint, falling away. Shot won't go. Rebound goes to Paul George.
That's great defense by Kawhi Leonard.
Mavericks desperately need a stop here. Leonard kicks it out in the corner. Morris for 3. Puts it in.
Life in Clipperland. Flat out getting it done when it matters most. I grew up on this. Reggie Jackson for the home run. Getting it done with the long ball. And then Kawhi Leonard making the play. Nobody contests. You know the rules. Hand down, man down.
What a shooting exhibition by these LA Clippers. 1:13 remaining. Doncic and Leonard, these 2 superstars matched up again. Doncic gets inside, banks it home. Paul George has it. Gets away from the double team. Tyronn Lue calls a timeout first with 1:06 remaining. So we'll take a quick timeout. 1:06 left here in Game 7. .106 fourth quarter here in Game 7. The Clippers, the lead is 11. Mavericks desperate to try and have some kind of miracle comeback. And the Clippers, I believe, just called back-to-back timeouts.
So they can advance it.
Correct. Because on the inbound, Paul George caught the inbound and made a dribble before the timeout was called. Instead, they're going to move it up to the front court. So a second timeout called by Tyronn Lue as the Clippers looking to wrap this one up. Young stars the NBA has ever seen. It's only his second playoff series, but he's already establishing himself as one of those special postseason performers. 44 points. It's the third time in this series and the fifth time in his career in just 13 playoff games he's had 40 or more.
44 points, 14 assists, could have been 20.
At 22 years old, on the road in a Game 7 against two absolute elite perimeter defenders, and he's had his way, not just tonight, but every time he's seen it.
On the inbounds.
That's backcourt.
That is backcourt.
I'm not sure on that. I think the momentum can take you in the back on that, on those plays.
That's backcourt, Mike. He landed here and went into the backcourt.
But you're allowed that momentum. I think that's what Scott Forster was telling Rick Carlisle.
We'd stop playing in my neighborhood.
Mike, that's backcourt.
Oh, well, he had the 2 feet, but I'm telling you.
And then he caught it, right? And then he went in the backcourt.
Because his momentum got him in.
So I could run. What if I could dribble in the backcourt because my...
We'd send Mike home in my neighborhood.
Jackson has it. Trey Burke after him. Jackson in the front court. Foul by Doncic with 53 seconds remaining. And obviously, all they have to do now is hit some free throws.
I've been around a long time. That's backcourt.
Well, we have, of course, our man Steve Javie. You see Scott Foster explaining it to Rick Carlisle. Steve, you saw that play. Is that a backcourt violation or not?
Yeah, Mike, I saw the play. I'm going to stick with Scott Foster on this one. It's a close one because you're allowed to have your momentum, as you said, Mike, take you back court. Scott, in his opinion, didn't feel that the gentleman here, Kawhi Leonard, had positive position, and he had his momentum take him back court. You're allowed to do that in the last 2 minutes of the game.
All right, thank you, Steve.
I'm still going to disagree 100%.
Mike, you're right and you're wrong. That's the stupidest rule I've ever heard.
I'm just pleased that you said you're right. 122-109. Doncic gets past Leonard and drives inside, and they're letting him lay it up and in. 46 points now for Kawhi Leonard. Remember, the most points ever scored in a Game 7 is 47.
And again, they're letting him go now, so he's going to have an opportunity to break the record of Dominique Wilkins.
Doncic, meanwhile, with 46 points with 14 assists. Kawhi Leonard, meanwhile, with 28 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists.
By the way, was that 47 that shootout with Bird?
Yes.
That was an incredible game.
Absolutely.
Well, you think about this for the Clippers. They lose the first 2 games at home. Game 3, they're down 30-11 on the road. (30-11) on the road in Dallas, but they came back and won that game. Then they blow them out in Game 4. Then lose again at home in Game 5 and trailing 3-2, facing elimination on the road Friday night. They get 45 from Kawhi Leonard to even the series to the second round, where they'll face the Jazz in Salt Lake City. Finney Smith looking. Pass stolen by Paul George. George goes up and fouled and takes a tumble as Tim Hardaway fouls him. And the crowd booing Hardaway. Hopefully George will be okay. Leonard saying something. Hardaway saying, hey, I'm just trying to stop him. But did he get up in the air?
It's an unintentional flagrant foul to me.
That's not a flagrant foul to me.
They're going to review it.
It's not a flagrant foul.
Like I said, it's an unintentional flagrant foul. You can't.
Checking to see if this foul meets the criteria for a flagrant foul.
I don't think he meant to.
He meant to grab and stop him, but then George went up in the air.
So what did he do that would make you think that's a flagrant foul? He swipes at his body or at the basketball.
I would suspect that if we saw it from behind, there was a little contact from in the air from behind. But hey, you know what, Mike? Mark, you might be right. Because there was momentum going, then you can do whatever you want, because that's the new rule now, right, Mike? The momentum can carry you in the backcourt, it can carry you out of bounds, can carry you into a flagrant foul.
Good point. I mean, this is not a flagrant foul. I mean, this is Game 7. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, but the game's over.
But what do you want him to do?
Don't push him when he's up in the air.
He didn't push him.
I saw a left hand on his back. I don't think he tried to do anything wrong.
Let's hear from Scott Foster.
Foul's been ruled a flagrant foul, penalty 1. 2 in the ball, 24.
There you have it. Non-basketball play. Hardaway trying to explain himself, and I agree with you guys in that. And he's trying to stop it, but the timing of it made it look like a bad foul as George was about to get up in the air. Meanwhile, more free throws for the Clippers. Clippers are 22 for 22 from the free throw line. Paul George, 21 points, 10 assists, 6 rebounds. stellar defense.
And this is big for him, Mike, a guy that's had historically some tough times when the lights got the brightest. This is an outstanding ball game for him.
Well, this whole season for George, for Kawhi Leonard, the Clippers' redemption from last year, blowing that 3-1 lead in the conference semifinals. Flagrant foul is 2 free throws on the ball. Leonard, Batum, George sitting down as Tyronn Lue emptying the bench. And a much-deserved appreciation and applause from the Clipper fans as the LA Clippers about to advance to the second round. And another tough playoff elimination, back-to-back playoff eliminations for Dallas. Losing this first round, second consecutive year to the Clippers. Another year where they fought hard, had their chances. A series they were up 2-0, winning the first 2 games on the road. A series they were up 3-2, but just couldn't finish it off. And about 8,000 strong here at the Staples Center will watch their team play on here in these NBA playoffs. Luka Doncic, 46, 14 and 7. Brilliance from the young man, respect from the coaches. And this series is over. The first round is over. The home team finally gets a win. The Clippers advance. The stoic superstar, Kawhi Leonard, 28 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists, and brilliant defense. And as you said earlier, Jeff, it's tough here. You watch a guy like Luka Doncic play the way he played, and his season's over.
Just, it's so brutally hard to try to win a playoff series, particularly in the Western Conference. These 4-5 matchups are incredible, and they're difficult and challenging. And the Clippers could easily win the whole thing. I mean, they're that good.
That's got to be the mentality.
Well, they're keeping their championship hopes alive. They were severely tested, to say the least, here in this first round. And as you see again, the respect from these two teams.
And I loved how they responded when they went down 5. The Mavericks hit them with a haymaker coming out of halftime, down 8 to going up 5, and then the response by the Clippers was tremendous.
Let's go to Rachel.
Kawhi, congratulations. Game 7 win and a home win. You guys lost the first 2 games in the series.
you.